now for 106 state champions for championship matches at Class A. It's Renard Terrell from Omaha North meeting David Miller, a freshman from Kearney. In Class B, it'll be James Gutierrez from Boys Town meeting up with Chad Svoboda of Aurora. In Class C, it's Stephen Jenny against Aaron Danner. And in Class D, Justin Bowers meeting John Paul Wood. Some great matches here at 106 pounds.
Well, I think one of the feature matches here today for the whole tournament is in Class A between Renard Terrell and David Miller. Renard Terrell 26-1 this year with David Miller 34-0. David Miller just a freshman. I overheard some people talking last night around the tournament, thinks he's quite possibly one of the best wrestlers here in the state.
Well, I tell you, though, he's lucky to be here. David met up with Quentin Miller in the semifinals and had to get a takedown in the sudden death overtime to even get to this final. So yeah, he really had a tough semifinal.
In fact, to even get into the overtime period, he was awarded a penalty point for his opponent stalling. That just to get it into the overtime. Renard Terrell, I don't want to say upset the #1 wrestler, Tyrone Martinez from Papillion in the quarterfinals, because those two have wrestled several times over the last couple of years, and it's bounced back and forth, so I really wouldn't call that an upset. I mean, that's just a good match. They went overtime also. He was able to win that match by staying aggressive. We talked just a little bit ago about how important is it to stay on the offense. He won his match in the quarterfinals by staying aggressive. And you got a nice duck under, or switched off to a double leg takedown. I think what we might see in that match, Terrell might come out on top just because of the fact that he has got the experience in the finals here.
And Terrell leading that match now 2-0. No other points yet in the other matches, but Class D, John Paul Wood and Justin Bowers really battling each other to try to get the takedown. And Bowers with a little bit of advantage right now. He's just a freshman in that match facing the sophomore.
There's an escape by Miller that makes it 2-1 in Class A.
And Bowers still fighting and does get the takedown. So Bowers takes a 2-0 lead over John Paul Wood in Class D. So Greeley, who's still trying to wrap up the Class D state team title, has to win one of their 4 matches and lost the first one. So kind of an important one for him a little bit here from John Paul Wood.
I still don't think we've come to their powerhouses yet, though. They got a little bit of backup still coming up.
In Class B, it's interesting that James Gutierrez is 26-2. He was ranked #1, and Chad Svoboda of Aurora was 30-4, and he was ranked #2. So real great matchup there.
Those two have not met yet this year. This is the first time they're going to meet. We've got a near fall situation in Class C.
And it is Steve Jenny, the undefeated junior for Columbus-Lakeview, trying to get a pin. I can see the shoulder up from here, though.
Yeah, the time's going to run out. He is going to get the 3-point near fall. That'll give him a 5-0 advantage. He got that right at the end of the period. A lot of times you'll see a wrestler will relax towards the end of the, he thinks time's running out. He doesn't concentrate quite as much. You'll see that a lot on the edge. So they're already into the second period on Class A. Terrell took the down position. David Miller appears to be controlling him pretty well in the top position.
Quick wrap-up of points now in Class B. It's James Gutierrez leading 2-0 over Chad Svoboda. In Class D, we have a 2-0 lead for Justin Bowers. In Class C, a 5-0 lead for Steve Jenny. And in Class A, it's a 3-1 lead for Renard Terrell.
Back again talking about the families. James Gutierrez, his brother Chris, was wrestling for Millard South. I think he came back in place, but I'm not sure what place he ended up with. There's a reversal, or no, that's a takedown for James Gutierrez. Svoboda had the escape to make it 2-1. There's a takedown for Gutierrez, makes it 4-1, his advantage. Both of those wrestlers wrestled in the 103-pound class last year. Gutierrez placing 4th and Svoboda placing 5th.
And we'll have some more points scored in Class A. Renard Terrell starting to take control of that match now as he leads at 5-1 over David Miller. And I think you really hit it on the head. I think Terrell with the experience advantage in that match.
Now, those two wrestled together actually on the cadet national team last year, so they probably know each other pretty well, know each other's styles pretty well.
As far as medal winners goes, Terrell, a state runner-up a year ago in Class B. Gutierrez placed 4th last year at 103, and Svoboda placed 5th at 103 last year. So it's obvious who came out ahead in that match. We do have an injury right now in Class C. So while we're doing that, we're going to start running down the scores again for you. In Class D, it's still a 2-0 lead for Justin Bowers over John Paul Wood. In Class B, a 4-1 4-1 lead for James Gutierrez over Chad Svoboda. And in Class A, we have a 5-1 lead for Renard Terrell over David Miller. And Terrell trying to get some back points, but I don't believe he was able to do it.
Over here in Class D, referee Bill Imsick just warned John Paul Wood for stalling on top. Didn't feel that he was trying to turn his opponent into a near fall or situation.
One thing I should mention, if Renard Terrell can win, that'll get Omaha North very close to their third straight Class A state title.
And actually, Kearney is the only team that does have a chance, and this is a really key matchup when they're meeting head-to-head. I think if North wins this one, that'll probably put it out of reach for Kearney. Millard South's actually in second place, but they don't have enough finalists, I think, to overtake North in the team standings.
And Gross has already won the team title in B. It looks like Albion most likely will win in C, and Greeley needs to get one more win to assure a champion over Mullen in Class D.
Svoboda got an escape over in Class B for Aurora. That makes the score 4-2. He's trailing James Gutierrez of Boys Town. We're just starting the third period in Class D. John Paul Wood is behind 2-0. He's in the down position in the all red, well, the red with the white front singlet. Justin Bowers from Winside in the pinstripe red and white.
Boy, Bowers, great counter moves. About 3 moves right there he's able to counter. And you got to think that's what's got him here, the outstanding counter wrestler. We still have some pretty tight matches. It is now 6-2 in Class B. Gutierrez leading
He did get an escape right there in the last second of that period. He was trying for the switch, and apparently the referee, Rick Price, that's the referee on the B mat, he felt that there was no control anymore. So he gave the 1-point escape, makes it 6-3. Here comes a reversal with a possible near fall. Yes, he's getting the near fall points as well for John Paul Wood.
So Wood coming from behind now for Greeley and trying to wrap up the state title for the Bulldogs.
Just trying to get out of bounds there, able to do it. That's a 2-point near fall. That'll give John Paul Wood a 4-2 lead over Justin Bowers with 1.5 minutes remaining there.
Boy, does Greeley bring a big crowd, too. You know, for a small town, they bring the whole town here, and for good reason.
What do they have, about 550 people in that town? I think they're all here. They're in section, what is it, about C10.
Gutierrez leading 6-3 in Class B over Svoboda. In Class A, we have a 7-2 lead now for Renard Terrell over David Miller. In Class C, it's Stephen Jenner still leading Danner.
Reversal by Justin Bowers. That's going to tie it up. I'm not sure. He didn't give any near fall points there.
John Paul Wood very close to an escape, so he could still get the lead back with under 1 minute to go here in the third period. Still
Bowers able to get in deep on that double leg. John Paul Wood whizzes him over. Tries to step. Look at that. Look at the counter by Justin Bowers. Amazing. And he's getting the near fall. That's going to give him a 2-point lead now. 6-4 with 30 seconds remaining. So Greeley still doesn't have that title wrapped up yet.
Well, it's been an outstanding match and continues to be so, as we do have a champion now in Class A. Renard Terrell wins it 7-4. So that should pretty much lock it up for Omaha North for the team title in Class A. And Renard Terrell winning a state championship as a junior at 27-1.
Wood trying to get to his feet. It looks like he might get a reversal here if he can step over. He does have the reversal. Oh, and he gave near fall. Oh, this is going to be really controversial. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I'll let you iron that one out.
We got a 2-point reversal red, 2-point near fall red for John Paul Wood. We have a 2-point reversal green.
I think that ties it up.
That ties it up, 8-8.
1 second. Well, we're in overtime.
Boy, I'd like to see an instant replay of that.
I actually think they had it right. They did a heck of a job.
The only question I have there is, was the time run out before Justin Bowers was able to get the reverse? Is that a reversal over there or a takedown in Class B?
Class B, it's Gutierrez leading 9-6 with 40 seconds left to go in that match. I think we have another injury timeout in Class C.
There's an escape by Gutierrez, gives him a 10-6 lead with 30 seconds to go.
I just want to wrap in C. We've got Steve Jenny, the undefeated wrestler, at 35-0, leading 6-2 over Aaron Danner. So we want to keep an eye on that match as well.
We've got sudden death overtime now down here in Class D between John Paul Wood of Greeley and Justin Bowers of Winside. They did leave the call. They didn't change the call. It's 8-8. It's sudden death. The first wrestler to score in this 2-minute period wins the match. Should no wrestler score, it goes to sudden death second overtime.
Well, we have quite a situation in A or in B. And let's see.
There's a takedown by Greeley by John Paul Wood to win the match. What a comeback there. And we have a champion in B, James Gutierrez, 10-8.
Boy, things happened in a hurry. Boy, those both happened in a hurry. Boy, John Paul Wood, a gutsy performance, but I'll tell you, Justin Bowers is a freshman. Outstanding performance. He will be back. Mark my words.
I wouldn't be surprised to see those two back in the finals again next year against each other. So,
of course, the big thing there is what weight classes they end up. But Gutierrez with a great win as well. I tell you, he had a tough time as he wanted 10-8. But now we have one match left, Class C, where they've had some injury problems. Aaron Danner, I think, has had a bloody nose and has been able to stick in it, but right now trails Stephen Jenny by a score of, well, there we go, 6-2. Jenny leading it.
They're going to stop it again for the bloody nose.
Now, I understand bloody nose, they do not use the time on it.
Any bleeding injury, whether it be your nose, where you cut your eye, anything like that, it does not use your injury time, especially in this day and age with the blood-borne diseases. They're real careful about that. You'll see they're out cleaning the mat right now, and they use a Clorox bleach solution to clean that up in order to fight any infection. So
Steve Jenny, a 35-0 junior from Columbus-Lakeview, got 2 pins and a 3-1 decision to get the finals. Aaron Danner, a 29-5 sophomore from Ashland-Greenwood, had to win overtime in his first match, 6-5, and then he won 5-1 and 3-1 to get here into the state championship. Neither wrestler has won a state medal before, so they'll both get their first state medal. Again, in our other weight classes, David Miller, who was undefeated as a freshman from Kearney, was beaten by Renard Terrell 7-4, and James Gutierrez, a 10-8 winner over Chad Svoboda in Class B. Gutierrez from Boys Town, Svoboda from Aurora, and in Class D, Justin Bowers, a 10-8 overtime loser to John Paul Wood of Greeley. Wood finishes at 21-1, and Justin Bowers at 30-8. So that was really an outstanding match. And again, with the delay due to blood problem right now with Aaron Danner.
Stephen Jenny from Columbus-Lakeview was the runner-up last year at 103 in Class B.
Oh,
so
okay, that's
probably why that didn't show up, because they've dropped down now to Class C. There was a lot of, we're probably going to talk about that throughout the day. There was a lot of shuffling of the classes this year, some for the good, and I feel most for the bad, actually.
Well, there was not without controversy. Of course, the big thing was Class A ended up with 24 teams, and a lot of people talking about the fact there were some open weight classes in Class A.
There was a couple buys in the state tournament, which is not good to see. There was also 6 wrestlers in the Class A bracket that had not won a match. They qualified for the state tournament solely on the fact that they didn't have more than 4 guys in their district tournament. With, you know, I'm not discounting that those guys shouldn't get a chance to come down here, but there's wrestlers in some of these other smaller classes that have good records that deserve to be at the state tournament, and because of that, they're not getting the chance.
Well, about 47 seconds now left in the third period in Class C at 106 pounds, and Steve Jenny with a pretty comfortable lead at 6-2 over Aaron Danner, and it appears that he'll probably go on to the state title in that weight class. Again, in Class B, Omaha Gross wrapped up the state title. It appears Omaha North will be the team titleist, and they both be their 3rd straight team titles. Albion appears to be close to a victory in Class C, and it looks like Greeley will be the state champion in Class D.
Class B, in Gross winning their 3rd straight title, that is a Class B record. Class A, I believe the record, some of the teams back in the 40s and 50s, like South High, won 5, 6 straight championships. I know Columbus won it 4 straight back in the late 70s, early 80s, and there's the end of that match. Columbus-Lakeview, Stephen Jenny wins it 6-2.
And what a great feeling to go undefeated. The interesting thing about that is a junior, automatically the pressure will be on him from day 1 of wrestling practice next year.
Oh, I think that's not too bad of a pressure to have.
Well, you would certainly understand it, RJ, being a 4-time All-American.
Never undefeated, though. Never had an undefeated season.
Here are the championship match results again at 106 pounds in Class A. Renard Terrell, a 7-4 winner over David Miller of Kearney. In Class B, James Gutierrez winning at 10-8 over Chad Svoboda. In Class C, Steve Jenny goes unbeaten as he gets a 6-2 win over Aaron Danner. And in Class D, Justin Bowers of Winside losing that tough 10-8 overtime decision to John Paul Wood of Greeley. Let's run down